So we are now going to demonstrate a particular process which we use with people to help them with goal setting and goal accomplishment, but in a metaphorical way. So Hashim, can we start?
Yeah, sure.
Brilliant. Can you think of a goal that you would like to achieve?
Financial freedom by 31st December.
Okay. So right now you don't have to necessarily narrate it to me. I just want you to think about it.
Okay.
Okay. And maybe also the benefits of achieving that particular goal. What will happen once you've achieved this?
Okay.
Once you've thought about it, I want you to think about the current state that you're in. What is happening in your life right now? How far or close you are from that particular goal.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
So just give 2 minutes each for both of these activities, and then I'll go forward with this.
Sure.
So on the video we can kind of have after 2 minutes. क्योंकि वो चुप ही रहने वाले, कुछ बोलने नहीं वाले.
अच्छा 2 मिनट ले
ठीक है? So both? Brilliant. So Ashim, now with your eyes comfortably closed, if I were to ask you to think of a garden which would represent what's happening in your life currently, would you be able to think of that garden?
Yes.
Yes? Brilliant. So I would like you to think of that garden, and I would like you to describe that garden to me. How does that garden look?
Garden. I am walking through the lane of one of the lane between the garden.
Mm-hmm.
I can see a green grass on the ground. Then I can see flowers of various colors plucked in on the row of that particular path. I can see all the trees, various kind of trees, and it's very green. It's a little. The season is like it's a mid-rainy season where there is lots of greenery on the tusk of that of trees, and there is lots of greenery all about, and it's cloudish around, and it's a pleasant season out here, pleasant atmosphere there, and I am walking through it, and I am looking on to the beauty of that garden, all those things happening. Children are playing out there.
Okay, so right now when I'm asking you to think of a garden,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think of a garden which is a plain garden. There's nothing in, there is no people in it.
Okay.
It's simply a garden that represents the kind of life you have
Okay.
currently, which then means that when you're looking at achieving your goals, if
Mhm.
there are any things which are stopping you from moving towards those goals,
Okay.
those are also represented in this garden.
Okay.
So think of your current situation,
Mm-hmm.
everything that's working for you, everything that's not working for you,
Mm-hmm.
and create a garden which represents all of those elements.
Okay. Can I take a minute?
Yeah, you can take your time. All you need to do is observe what's happening in your head, because your unconscious now can actually create that image for you and show you what that garden would look like. Or at least you can begin to have a sense of that garden first.
So the garden right now, what I, in reference to my goals and the roadblocks and all those kind of stuff, what I can recreate is like this. There's a garden where the grass is, it's a plain surface.
Mhm.
There is not much grass on it. A little bit of flowers on the sideways.
Mhm.
There are pieces of rocks in middle. Then on the lane where I am walking, it's uneven,
Mm-hmm.
and as I am moving on, I can see there are patches in between where there is no grass. It's all soil. Nothing else can be seen on there.
Okay.
And as I move on, a little bit of a yellowish grass, you can say.
Okay.
Kind of yellowish grass is there, and then rocks are there.
Mm-hmm.
And as I am moving, I have to jump over the rocks because they are big ones.
Okay.
So you have to jump
Okay.
over it.
So as you observe that garden, I would like you to now
Mm-hmm.
go deeper into this garden, explore it completely.
Okay.
You don't have to narrate it to me now.
Okay.
I have the details that I need, but I want you to be completely aware of what the garden looks like, what is the size of it, what are the things that are there in the garden, and everything. Things that you have told me, and other things as well. Okay, once you've been able to explore it completely, let me know.
Sure.
Brilliant. Now, what I would like you to do is click a photo of this garden and keep it in your mind.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let this photo go in the background.
Okay.
And I would like you to think of a garden which will represent you're having achieved the goal that you want to achieve. So,
Okay.
all the things that will change in your life, as a result of that, what would your ideal garden look like?
Okay.
And then explore it completely. Once you've been able to explore it, let me know. If you would like, you can narrate it. Otherwise, you can keep it to yourself. That's alright.
Okay. Start.
Perfect. And now I would like you to create a snapshot of this garden as well. So now you have two different pics, right? One that
Correct.
represents the old garden and one that represents the new one.
Correct.
I would like you to bring the two of them in front of you so that you can see them clearly.
Done.
And notice the difference between the two gardens.
Huge difference.
Brilliant. And as you begin to notice that huge difference, you will begin to realize what you need to do in garden 1 so that it can begin to transform and become like garden 2.
Okay.
Make a note of every step that you need to take.
Okay.
Starting with what you will do first, and then the sequence of events and how that old garden will get completely transformed into the new one, or maybe even better.
Got it.
Brilliant.
So do I have to narrate that?
No, you don't have to narrate that, but just go through it so that you can identify each of those specifics. If you would like to narrate, and if that helps, you can also narrate. That's alright. Done?
Yes.
Brilliant. So you now know what steps you have to take to transform the old garden into the new one.
Correct.
I would like you to go into the old garden and actually start taking those steps so that you can literally see yourself transforming the old garden into the new one.
Okay.
Take your time, take those steps. At any point of time, if you would like, you can narrate, though you can completely keep it to yourself. What's important is you take each of those steps and you can notice the transformation happening. In fact, you're creating the transformation.
Got it.
Completely?
Yeah.
Done?
Just a minute.
Brilliant. So I'm going to be quiet, take your time.
Yeah. Done.
Brilliant. Now, since you already know that the old garden represented your current situation, the new garden represented the kind of future you would like to create, each step that you have taken in that garden to some extent represents what steps you need to take in your day-to-day life.
Okay.
In your current life to transform the current life into the kind of life that you would like to transform it into. The one where you've already achieved your outcome.
You got it.
I'm going to be quiet. I would literally like you to go through each of those steps that you have taken, so that your unconscious now can begin to bring it to your awareness as to what each of these steps represent in your life. You may not be able to make sense of all the steps, which is alright, but at least the initial ones that you can begin with are the ones that your mind would surely help you understand. And as you start taking those steps in your life, which you would naturally and effectively, you will notice that the other steps will become more and more clear and easier for you to follow. Okay? So just go through it. Once you're able to make sense of those steps and understand what these steps represent, at least the initial ones, then let me know.
First step is for me to list down all the incompletions I have.
Okay.
All the things which are incomplete in some or the other kind of nature. I need to first make a list of all those things so that I can get clear what are the things that are incomplete in a perfect number.
Okay.
Once that is done, what I am going to do is I am going to take each of one or two or three at the same time, whatever is feasible. I'll take those each week and I'll start working on them and I start completing all those kind of stuff, all the incompletions.
Okay.
So in taking actions, when I am taking all those actions, when I am completing all those actions, when I am completing the task and the results I am achieving, it's like giving nutrition to the plants in my garden.
Perfect.
So when I am doing this, I am taking actions, I am completing all the incomplete and broken promises that I am completing. It's taking me a step closer to what my new garden is.
Perfect. So now I would like you to be quiet and just go through these steps once again in your mind, so that you can actually figure out when you say take action, what would those specific actions be. You don't have to narrate those actions to us, but what's important is you should know what those actions are.
Got it.
Okay. Once you're able to understand those actions, at least the initial ones, specifically, which is clear enough for you to go back and take action now, then say yes and let me know. Take your time.
Sure.
Brilliant. So that gives you clarity about what you need to do going forward?
Correct.
Brilliant. So now, take your time, allow all of these things to settle down in your mind, and then whenever you're ready, come back to the present by opening your eyes wide awake, ready to take these actions in your life.
Okay.
Comfortable? Brilliant. Now, so the thing about this particular activity is, I've done it one-to-one for your demonstration. You could even do this activity in a group, where you could give these instructions in advance and people can do it simultaneously. You could also teach it to people so that they can do it with themselves. From this perspective, it's both a good technique to use in group sessions and also to teach people, which can become a good takeaway or a take-home kind of a technique for them. I hope you have been able to understand this effectively. Thank you.